A terrifying afternoon in Henderson County as authorities search for a man who shot and killed 3 people in cold blood.
The search ended just a few hours ago. The man deputies were looking for, 32-year-old Ralph Warren III, was found dead. He had a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and his body was found a few miles from where the shooting happened. Many homes were put on lockdown, and authorities are working multiple crime scenes tonight.
We have a team of reporters spread out across the area. We begin with News 13's Megan Shearing, who was first on the scene. Megan?
Well, hey there, Darcel. We are getting new information from the sheriff's office tonight. They have just released the names of those 3 victims. They are 30-year-old Carrie Warren, 49-year-old Teresa Tracy, and Richard Tracy, 51 years old. Carrie Warren was the daughter of Teresa and Richard Tracy. Carrie was recently separated from the suspect, Ralph Warren III. As you can see behind me, there are some deputies still here on the scene at this point, but crime scene investigators have left the scene. It's going to be a long night for them to piece together everything that happened here. Take a look at what the events that unfolded today. Authorities responded to a residence on Piney Ridge Drive in the Mountain Home area after reports of a shooting. When deputies arrived on scene, they found 3 adults outside of the residence. All of them had been shot to death. Jeremy Troy, who works nearby, heard the gunfire.
We heard the shots and kind of looked out, and there was a couple of, it looked like this Toyota truck just stuck there on the side of the road, and I mean, it was like the World War III was going on.
Eddie Metcalf's wife heard the shots too.
She ran out the door, and she said they fired, and then they quit, and then all of a sudden she heard more shooting, like he reloaded, and then she heard the car speed off, whatever. She come around, and he come around the neighborhood or whatever. And she seen the gentleman in the car just going down the road, just flying or whatever.
The Henderson County Sheriff's Office began searching for this man, Ralph Warren III. After the shooting, deputies say he jumped in a vehicle with his high-powered rifle and took off. A short time later, Warren's car was spotted off Howard Gap Road and Highway 25. A tactical team was called in, and around 8 o'clock, after a 3-hour manhunt, Warren's body was found.
The suspect is deceased, and we're going to let people start returning to their homes. And the investigation is ongoing. We're processing the crime scene, but the suspect, Robert Warren III, is deceased, and we have officers on the scene.
As far as a motive to the shooting, detectives say it could possibly be domestic related. Warren has been arrested on domestic violence charges in the past. And again, Sheriff's Office just releasing the names of those 3 victims shot and killed tonight here on Piney Ridge Drive. It is going to be a few hours before investigators know exactly what led up to this shooting. Again, Carrie Warren, one of the victims, was recently separated from Ralph Warren III. And of course, we'll continue to follow this story as more information becomes available. Reporting live in Henderson County tonight, Megan Shearing, News 13.
At one point, deputies had Warren cornered in the area of Howard Gap Road near Old Hendersonville Road in Fletcher.
The area was put on lockdown, drivers told to avoid the area, and people told to stay inside their homes.
News 13's Mario Boone continues our live team coverage in Fletcher. Mario.
Yeah, we're in the parking lot of a local grocery store, and this is where many residents staged earlier waiting for the all clear to get back into their neighborhoods. And just over that way, off in the distance, is where I'm told the suspect's body was located. Let's get you to some dramatic video from earlier today as officers, very heavily armed officers with high-powered rifles, searched this area looking for that suspect. It took them several hours. We're told that during the search, residents were told to stay indoors with their homes locked and to wait for the all clear from officers before they came back outside. And I got to tell you, I talked to several residents here tonight. There were some very tense and scary moments earlier as this search was underway. Residents just fearing the worst, not knowing where this suspect was or what he might do next. I talked to one woman who was trapped here with several other people, including her young child. Listen to what she told me earlier tonight.
So we're just trapped here, and we don't know when we're going to be able to get home. I asked if we could get a police escort, and they're not letting anybody through.
The good news now, the all clear has been given again, and residents have been allowed to return back home. The investigation very much still underway at this time, and of course, much more on this developing story throughout tonight and first thing tomorrow on News 13. Reporting live in Fletcher, I'm Mario Boone, News 13.
And it was a long, scary night for folks who live on Piney Mountain Road. After hours of uncertainty and waiting, they were finally allowed to return home.
News 13's Emma Wright is streaming live for us with our team coverage. Emma, a lot of relieved people tonight.
They are. You know, we talked to one man who lived just a few doors down from where the shooting happened. He says he heard those gunshots. He says they were so loud they made his jacket vibrate. You could see the relief on their faces. After hours of waiting, the folks who live on Piney Ridge Drive finally got to go home.
Pretty scary to know that's 2 or 3 houses up from yours.
Casey Burnett heard it happen. 3 people shot dead just feet from his front door.
We heard the gunshots. It was close enough to where our shirts vibrated.
It was really loud. It almost shakes your body. It was loud. It sounded like a cannon.
The news of the shooting spread quickly.
I heard about it all the way across Hendersonville.
Did you really?
I just got out of a meeting and my buddy, he called me up and was just like, be careful, dude, because there's a killer on the loose.
Teresa Bryan's family lives in the area. She says she was sick with worry for hours.
So I called my dad immediately and told him what was. Thank God my dad wasn't home. Scary. Very scary.
Melissa Blumquist says she didn't know the victims but feels for their families.
Scary. Very scary.
A sad and scary day that's finally over.
I'm just glad to be able to go home.
Neighbors we spoke with say they don't know the shooter or his victims, but they say they feel for all families. Reporting live tonight, I'm Emma Wright, News 13.